Good afternoon, Adam. I'm with Huang. He is the chief global economist for Fedex. He's also the soon-to-be president of NABE, National Association of Business Economics, who is hosting this wonderful meeting. He becomes the president tomorrow. And NABE just released a survey, fresh off the press, painted a pretty gloomy picture of the U.S. economy, according to business economists, which matches the market mood today. Tell us about some of the surprising highlights of the survey.
The survey was conducted during August 7th through 24th period, and it was released today. And the survey result versus the previous one was conducted in May. This quarterly survey is a downgrade of GDP growth to about 1.7% for this year, 2.3% for next year. It's almost 50 basis point cut or more for these two respective years. And the revision was basically the result of a downward adjustment for the first half and also a downward expectation projection for the second half of the year. We asked the panelists what are the factors that's restraining growth. They gave a list of the important things. Number one is low consumer and business sentiment. Number two is uncertainties in policies. Number three is continued tepid housing market, and then followed by continued tight credit conditions and continued balance sheet restructuring. So these are the factors the panelists consider will continue to restrain growth for the coming year. But we also asked about what are the positives,
right?
Because that's very important.
Even though the negatives outweigh the positives here.
Yeah, but the question is whether we can see some silver lining, some supportive environment for next year. And the list is number one. We'll continue to have very accommodative monetary policy. We can see that clearly from the Federal Reserve statement. Number two is we will have the continued growth, stronger growth outside the U.S., especially from Asia Pacific. Then followed by need for capital spending by pent-up demand from the consumer sector.
Okay, so there are positives, but in general, almost a 1% revision downward in GDP expectations. Does this point to a recession?
The panelists, we actually asked specifically to give a narrative of what is your description of the economy in the near term. About 17% indicate the economy will slip back, 13% will slip back into a recession. Most others on the panel do not think so.
Okay, and unemployment remains a key source of weakness, frustration, and letdown for confidence.
Yeah, that is considered the number one concern for the growth for the next 5 years. Unemployment, followed by debt issues in both the US and Europe, and uncertainties on regulatory and policy front. When we talk about the labor market, the expectation is by the end of next year, 2012, the unemployment rate will still be as high as 8.5% versus 9.1% at this point. So not much of a big
8.5%.
8.5% for the end of next year.
That's going to be tough during an election year. Huang, thank you so much.